y'all, welcome back to Harmon Homestead Ranch. So let's do a chicken video today. I've got a lot of questions on olive eggers. So these right here are some of my olive egger eggs. And I've put Moran eggs up here that are dark chocolate brown and blue Americana eggs. We've done an olive egger genetic video before for you guys, and I want you to go back and watch that if you have questions. But as a quick rundown, you need a dark chocolate egg layer, like a Moran or Marin, however you pronounce it, and an Americana, a true blue layer. The only other options that I know of that you could do this to get olive eggs would be a well summer and a cream leg bar. You have to have a pure blue layer with a brown layer to get green. This is a bloom that's sprayed over the egg. If you crack this egg open, there's a cream shell on the inside, and you can actually rub off the brown bloom under running water. It's just like spray paint. But the blue egg is blue through and through. When you crack this egg open, it's a blue shell on the inside. So you put those two together, you get a blue egg with a brown spray on top that gives you olive. So we've had tons of questions about how do I get different colored olive egg laying chickens, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So you start out with this. You need an olive egger to get different types of olive colored eggs. There's several options you can do here. You can stick with this color, meaning you could breed olive egger to olive egger rooster, and you'll get something along the lines of the same result. This is all called an F1 cross. This is the first generation. We're doing F2. We're taking these egg-laying hens and putting them back with different colors. So if I want spearmint, like an aqua looking color, I'm going to take Americana and olive egger for F1, and the F2 will result in a spearmint color. If I want to have olive, I'm going to have these two together, olive and olive, rooster and hen. If I want a moss colored egg or khaki, that's where it gets interesting. You need the dark egg layer. I like to use this as the rooster. That's just what I prefer, with your olive egger hens, and you will get a shade of khaki or a darker shade of olive like moss, depending on the original shade of the egg. So like this one right here, if I put this hen with the Moran rooster, I will have a khaki. This one as well, because they're more along the lines of a brownish. That's more green. That one really is kind of brown. And the camera's not picking up the green color of these guys as well as most do. But I'm going to tell you, just as a tidbit of advice, if you see neon looking eggs online, that's not real, okay? There's no chicken that lays a neon, vibrant, color filtered egg, okay? It just is what it is. So this right here is going to give you khaki. You go back. It may give you a funky green, but it's going to be more of a khaki. If you want moss, you're going to want those two together. Now, speckles. I get that question all the time. Some of my Morans, like that one, are speckled and some are not. That one's not speckled. That one is. The product here is you end up with an egg that is slightly speckled. That's just what you get. Now, some will be actually two-tone looking. And I'm trying to see here. This one I don't think it's going to pick up in the camera. That one is. It's the way the bloom is sprayed right there. So the result of this may be like a lighter brown and a darker brown there. But to get moss, to get spearmint, you need the blue thrown back in, so have that. But if you want moss or khaki, put a true brown layer that has double genes, such as a French black copper Moran, over an olive egger chicken. And the F2 generation, those hens will lay all different shades of green. This is only F1, so they're all kind of similar in color, the olive eggers. Our product this year will be F2, the different colors of green. I hope that answers some questions, guys, but the most that I get is, how do I get all these different colored eggs? Every hen will lay a different shade. That's just genetics. Even breeding the brown and the blue together. The second most asked question I get is, how do I get these two going? You need a double brown layer, a pure brown layer. Again, well summer or French black copper Moran, or any Moran. But I'm going to tell you, Morans, let's talk about that for a minute. There's multiple different colored Morans. Each one has a different shade of brown that they lay. The French black copper lays the deepest brown egg, and that's really what you want for this genetic result, if you want deep green eggs. So I would go with that personally. Again, Americanas or cream leg bars, you need a true blue layer. I get asked all of the time, can we use Easter eggers? No, you cannot. Easter eggers are not genetically stable, meaning Easter eggers are just mutts. They're all mixed up to get that blue egg, to get that slightly green egg, sometimes pink, sometimes cream color, just a plain egg. You can't breed with those because they're not pure. You have to have 2 pure chickens of those bloodlines to get this. Once you get this, you can back cross to the blue or the brown. That's what we're going to do this year. I talked my husband into hatching some more eggs. We decided we were going to. I say every year I'm not, but we end up doing it anyways. I'm going to have this and this all together. That way we can have multiple shades of green. The last little tidbit of information we'll give you guys. I know right now people are wanting chickens. They're wanting eggs. I like to have something, if you're going to have it on your homestead, something profitable that no one else has. As far as selling eating eggs, this is not going to get you anywhere, okay? The colors don't matter. But if you're selling chicks or if you're selling hens, this is more expensive. You can charge more for this than a Rhode Island Red. It's because it's so hard and it takes so long to get to all of these colored eggs. You've got to raise chicks or either buy fully grown hens. You've got to wait till they breed. Then you've got to hatch the eggs. Then it takes 6 more months at least to get these egg layers going. So it takes a long time, and especially when you start back crossing F2, F3, F4, F5. This is years worth of steady hatching and reproducing to get these, so you can charge more, and because they're not as readily available. You can't find this on every street corner. You need something unique. Americanas you can find. I've said this before, I would not use cream leg bars. They're too finicky, especially if you live in the South. For me, my personal experience is they do not do well down here, and we had them and they hardly ever laid. The Morans do fine. I like them because they're dark. That helps with chicken hawks. It seems like chicken hawks always go after my lighter colored chickens. Morans are big. They could be dual purpose. Push comes to shove. Americanas are fairly small. The roosters are large, but the hens they're just stocky. They could be dual purpose. They're just finicky. But the best right there is the olive eggers, because you dive deep in that gene pool to get this colored egg, and they're just hardy. They're hardy. They love to forage. They are beautiful. I love olive eggers. Love them. So that's how you get multiple colored olive eggs. Some of it will be toned different just in nature. You can see the tones there. You need those. But what you really need to get moss eggs and to get khaki eggs is put your olive egger, no matter what generation, back up under the brown, and it will tint it darker. Just know that. If you want to go lighter, put a true blue layer with the green, and then you'll get a spearmint color. So I hope that answers some questions today, guys. Enjoy your chickens. I love them, and I love the colored eggs. That's just my thing. So we're going to stick with them, and we're going to keep going. We'll see you next time on Homestead Ranch.